guest today was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2019. He decided to meet the disease head on. He's written a new book based on what he learned on that journey, and it also serves as a practical guide for others as well. It's called Living Parkinson's, and we welcome Steve Yellen to Conversation Connecticut today. Good to have you.
Glad to be here.
What was the goal in writing the book? What did you want to do?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I never thought of myself as an author or considered writing a book. But I was diagnosed about 7 years ago, as you mentioned. And the first couple years, I was pretty passive about my response. I just kind of lived my life. And then starting a couple years into it, I kind of had an aha moment where what I really decided was I really need to take this on head on and really be as proactive as I could. So I learned all that I could. I took courses online, and I kind of built a plan for myself, which evolved over the years. And what I kind of realized maybe 5 years into it, a couple years ago, was this was kind of forming itself into a framework that maybe other people could use. And that kind of got me motivated, and a few people convinced me to try to put it in book format. And really the goal to me for the book is if I can just help people in any way, somebody who's just diagnosed or even somebody who's had it for 5 or 10 years, if they could take a couple things away from it, then that really would meet my goal.
What would be some of those couple of things you'd like people to take away?
You know, it's a little bit hard to give anybody specifics because everybody's journey with Parkinson's is different. They call Parkinson's a snowflake disease. But one of the things I found is the more proactive you can be, probably the better your journey can be. And that's really what I try to instill in the book. One of the main strategies I start with is the strategy of attitude, which is having a proactive attitude. And you know, also just being positive about your approach, again, taking charge of what you can, being appreciative for what you can. That really, I find, does help people along the way, at least a lot of the people I've spoken with.
Yeah, taking charge, but you also say one of the most important things is exercise. I don't know if folks realize that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. There's no way to currently stop the progression of Parkinson's. All the medications people take just basically mask the symptoms. But one of the ways that might end up helping is exercise. And there's a variety of different ways you can approach exercise that are all published online. But I found that that's something that's helped me, and really one of the things I encourage people to do is do what's right for you with exercise. One of the things I try to be very, very deliberate about is not telling people this is what you should do. It's more that you should look at where you are and you should try to push yourself a little bit further and do a little bit more than you are. Set a goal for yourself, hit that goal, use that as motivation to hit the next goal.
Yeah, because you say everybody's version of or body's way of dealing with Parkinson's is different.
Everybody's experience tends to be different. They call it, let's say, a snowflake disease because it's so unique. And the other thing I feel like is everybody's also wired differently, the way we respond to things. That's why I try to be very deliberate again in the book about not saying this is the formula. It's more like a framework that you can adapt to your own situation to hopefully make it a little bit of a better journey. All
right, World Parkinson's Day is Saturday. This is the book, Living Parkinson's, available on Amazon. And Steve, thank you so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Sharing the book.